Hey, I'm Nikki and welcome to my Q&A webcam vlog. Our first question today comes from Nikkidmac. Do you and John plan to have a child? And what would you name the girl or boy? We don't plan on having a kid anytime soon, and we're still pretty young, but I want to be able to be a good mom, provide the kid with whatever it needs, and we're just not ready for one right now. But in the future, I have thought about what I want to name my little girl. If I have a little girl, I want to name her Violet. I really like that name. And for a boy, I like the name. I haven't thought about boy names as much as I have girl names, but I do like the name Fox. And no, not because of Fox Mulder. Okay, a little because of Fox Mulder. But I do like the name. I like really interesting names that, a lot of people don't have. John, when I talked to him a little bit about it, he's a little bit more traditional with names. He likes cookie cutter names, and I like names to be unique that not everybody has. So we'll probably have to, when the time comes in the future, talk about it, come to a compromise, meet somewhere in the middle when it comes to naming a child. But it's going to come down to what I want, right? I'm the one who's pushing that thing out of a tiny hole, so what I say goes. Our second question today comes from Kitty Sevenful. When you were younger, did pimples bother you? How did you get rid of them? I never had any crazy bad acne, but just like anybody else, I got pimples every now and then, and I still get pimples every now and then. What I usually do is just put some toothpaste on it overnight, and it dries it out, and they'll shrivel up and die. Or I go to the drugstore and buy a spot treatment. But there actually was one time where I did have a little bit of a problem. When I turned 18, out of nowhere, my forehead started breaking out, and I have no idea why, because I've always had pretty clear skin, but my forehead started breaking out really badly. And I ended up buying Proactive. And it works, you guys. Proactive actually is pretty awesome. I called up and I got a 1-month supply treatment, whatever it's called. But you have to be careful because they want to charge your credit card every month to send you a new supply of Proactive every single month, but you have to tell them you don't want that if you don't want that. And I didn't. I only bought the 1-month treatment, and as soon as I used it up, my pimples were gone, and I never got them ever again. I only needed that 1-month treatment of Proactive, so Proactive works, guys. Our next question today comes from Coochie, actually just Coochie, 2K9. What's the best memories you had as a kid? I always remember going to my dad's house whenever I would visit, and he would build a fire for me in the winter, not in the summer. Fires in the house during the summertime aren't as fun. It gets too hot, obviously. But in the winter time, he would always build a nice fire for me. He had a nice fireplace in his house, and I would always snuggle up, lay down on the ground, have my feet at the fire, and watch TV. And I always remember that. And I still do that every time I come home to visit for Christmas. He builds a fire for me. I like my fireplace fires. And also, I didn't like taking baths as a little kid. I was always kind of a tomboy. And I had a bathtub fairy. To get me to start taking baths, I would take a bath, and my dad had this supply of little toys, and he would buy for me, and he would keep them. And every time I took a bath, I would get out of my bathtub, and I'd look under my pillow, and there would be a new toy. And that got me into taking baths more, which I thought that was kind of funny. A creative way to get your kid to be hygienic. That brings us to our next question. No, that was our final question today. Thanks guys so much for tuning into my Q&A webcam vlog. I really appreciate it. Our random fact of the day is, all out of order today, huh? Our random fact of the day is George Washington grew marijuana in his garden. Da, 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 da. Well, if you'd like your question featured in my next vlog, post it in the comment section or tweet me at NikitaBanana88. Take care, y'all. Aww.